Spot on. Yeah, should be able to get in the camera. Are you ready, Chris?
Yeah, it's a bit of an experiment, this, because I haven't rehearsed it.
Okay, that's fine. You ready?
Yeah, today I wanted to talk to you about evolution. Not in a kind of creationist or Darwinian sense, but the evolution of an idea. And all stories start somewhere, so for tonight, the story starts at Illuminate York. There's events like this all over the country now, really, where lighting up buildings with projections, especially this time of year, it's a lovely do. Don't know if you've been to those kind of things, probably Huddersfield even. But seeing that, I thought, we could do something like that. So I was thinking of something to do with shadows. I've been really interested in sort of performance piece maybe with shadows cast on buildings. Started looking at that and how shadows can work, and shadow puppetry as well. That's another great way. I love this. This is a guy called Mr. Bunk. He's a Canadian performer. It's very funny actually. So he's playing with scale here as a member of the audience, so it's participatory. But also it's using a projector as a light source. You get a very nice clean shadow from that. So I was looking around, you know, all the buildings you look at. It's very hard to find a nice white building you can project onto or have shadows onto. So we started thinking a bit more about how we could make something, maybe our own structure. And seeing these kind of domes, these astrological domes, inflatable. And inflatable is great because they pack down very small, so very practical to get in the van. So we ended up producing our own structure. This is it, 4 meter globe, which we started to try out what we could do, how we could get shadows in there. The first attempt really, we sort of made something inside. There's a contraption inside, which got motors which move the projectors around so we could have shadows moving around the whole structure. Well, it worked, you know, we sort of made that work. We can sort of just about see some shadow puppetry that's sort of videoed and projected onto there. So we did that for a little bit. One of the problems was, though, that we found as we were moving the projections around, it's a kind of 360 thing, and so as it moved around, that's another sort of shadow piece reversed out. So this is fish, sort of like an aquarium, really. But as they kind of moved around, people are so used to seeing a screen that they kind of tend to stay where they are. So the image would sort of drift around the corner, and we sort of flaw in the system there, really. So we kind of went back to the drawing board a little bit and came up with another idea. Okay, we'll have 4 projectors inside then, and we'll have images all over the globe and make it so. And that's what we did. So there you can see that's the inside a bit more recently. And now we've got images which kind of flow around the whole structure. So we're playing around with that as an idea, and all this sort of animation and the idea of zoetropes and images spinning from kind of still images into animated images, and it's sort of working well. So we kind of have it as an installation piece touring around. So we're very, very pleased with that, really, but we sort of carried on going with the ideas, telling stories, really. So here's like a snow globe, so sort of shake it up, the snow settles down, and inside there's kind of a little scene, a little story. And it's the beginning of a narrative, really. And then we ended up back, in fact, at Illuminate York. So it was great, actually. So we've done that whole circuit. We were sort of presenting at the place that we'd started to think about the idea for. So this is kind of some of the software that runs it, and you can see we have to sort of warp the images to make them look square on a round structure, the playlist and all the controls. And our latest thing really involves a camera. We're sort of face capturing people in the audience and projected them back into the sphere as a kind of animations, which we're showing. And here's some of the face capture going on. And so again, we're sort of involving our version really of the sort of participatory and involving piece. So yeah, that's the kind of story. So there's the piece as we've got it. It's an ongoing story. We're still developing it, but that's where we are at the moment. So that was me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Richard. Did you do the Leeds Light Night as well?
Yes.
I thought I saw you.